Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. We are looking at the right side and the wrong side of garter stitch today, which can be kind of confusing. And let's look at garter stitch today when you're striping. Garter stitch when you're striping with two different colours, especially in a beginner's scarf. And I am demonstrating with the beginner's big long scarf. The pattern is over in the shop, and very occasionally I open up the beginner's kits too. If you email me, you might be able to get one if you're in the UK. Don't tell everybody, it's just between you and me. But the garter stitch is an interesting one because it looks the same from both sides. But let's do this now. It's a lovely long video for you. Just go with it. I really wanted to show you this and take a look at it from all the different angles, all the different perspectives, and that will help you start striping with your garter stitch. Okay, let's chat about the right side and the wrong side of the knitting, especially when we're knitting garter stitch, because garter stitch looks identical one side from the other. You can't tell, can you? But there are a couple of tricks if you want absolutely perfect knitting, to just making choices when you're knitting that says that's the right side, that's the wrong side. So I will do certain things when I'm looking in that direction or that direction, and when the needle's facing that way, so you're doing particular rows. So the first clue you'll have, and this is key, is what does your cast on look like? So if we look at the cast on here, this is a very long scarf. If we look at the cast on here, you can tell that it looks different one side to the other. That is one side and that is another side. That side doesn't look quite so neat. And that's what was facing away from us when we were casting on. If you use the cable cast on method like I teach in a vast majority of my courses and vast majority of my tutorials, then that's what the back will look like. That's what we call the wrong side. So that right side is what's facing you when you cast on. That is the right side of your knitting. And it's got this beautiful little scalloped edge there. Okay, so that's the right side, which means when you start to change another colour, you have to make a choice. And if you want perfect knitting, this is why you make these choices. Now, what do you want the stripe to look like? When you make stripes in your knitting, you have a choice. You can see the join almost just changing without understanding how it does it. Suddenly there's an orange row when before there was a blue row. But you can make the choice if you want to make it more noticeable. And this is going to be more obvious when you're knitting a jumper or something like that, because you'll have a right side very obviously showing and a wrong side hidden. And you can have the join in the stripe showing like that if you want to. There you go, you can see the difference between the purple and the blue, and there the colours are joined on that single row. You could make that the right side of your knitting if you want to. And you could have that on the outside. I mean, when you're wearing a scarf, unless you put it on with great care every time you wear your scarf, there will be times when that side's showing and there will be times when that side's showing. And the same with this one. There will be times when your join between the orange and the blue is showing, and there will be times when it's not. Sometimes it will look like that, which I think looks really cool. Sometimes it will be just click your fingers and it changes colour. So here I've decided that that is the right side of my knitting, and when I changed colour I had the cast on looking like this facing me, so the right side was facing me. I'm going to change colour again. Now what you can see here is that I've carried on knitting and I've got this right side at the end here, and all the way along here I've been knitting, I've been knitting, and now I've got the same side of the scarf facing me as I'm about to change colour. And I just start knitting with a different colour, and you'll see the difference once I've knitted a little bit. here, almost immediately, you will see that it changes colour without any real fuss. I've just done a few stitches and there you are, it's just blue. But on the other side, you can see that there's the blue and the orange shifting across that row. So we'll see that, and you can figure out what's happening there. So the blue is passing underneath the stitches as you make the stitch. It's going to be hanging at the back there. That's where the yarn is when you make the stitch. And then the orange stitch is what you drop when you make the knit stitch. So you've got the blue sitting there as you pass it behind to make every stitch, and the orange is the stitch from the previous row. So that's how you can tell that is the wrong side mostly, but if you want it to show, you can make it the right side, and you can make it the right side by having this side away from you when you make your change in colour. You need this side facing you when you change colour, and then the stripe like that will be showing on that side of the scarf. And like I said, you put a scarf on, unless you're very meticulous every time you wear it, then you will have the right side or the wrong side showing. It won't really matter. But this is just something that you can really be aware of, especially if you want to wrap it up as a gift. You can say, right, I want it to look perfect, I want it to look really nice, I want the stripes to change in the same way on the scarf, so you can have the change in colour looking identical as the colours change from one to the other. And this is exactly what I did with this scarf. I made sure with every colour change that it happened in exactly the same way all the way along. So I made sure that this was facing me when I changed colour here, and that this was facing me when I changed colour here, and this was facing me when I changed colour here. So that is what made the difference, is it all looks the same, it all looks uniform along the scarf. And when you're changing colours more often, that is what is a big help, is to just have that knowledge of what's the right side and what's the wrong side. And like I said, it can be particularly confusing to look at if you're thinking, hang on a minute, but I'm using Garter Stitch. So with this, you want the cast on scalloped edge facing you as you change colour, if you want to kind of hide your stripe. There you go. Right, there you go. You can knit your stripy scarf in Garter Stitch. As I said, the right side is from your perspective, not mine. So why did you watch this video in the first place? But now you know how to make sure that they are the same all the way through your scarf. Okay then, thank you for being here. If you would like that pattern, the big long scarf, then it's over in the store. There's also a bundle of patterns for the big wool by Rowan. Why not get them all at once? Do subscribe if you've not been here before. There it is. Click. And I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Happy knitting.